Welcome back to a bit of. Rob is currently getting tickled by my dog's tongue. Can you guess where? We're back playing Ori and the Will of the Wisps. Been a while, but I think we're in a pretty good spot.
What's that? I'm sorry, I'm not paying attention.
We're just
my toes are being licked.
I noticed. We're just traversing the world of Ori. Trying to figure out where we need to go next.
Oh god, that's ticklish. Get out of here. No, she's going for my other foot now.
Yeah.
Oh.
She likes to do that when I get out of the shower because I'm all like wet and soapy. Well, not soapy, but like dripping. And apparently she likes the taste of both sweat and water from the shower.
Paint a picture, Ives. Alright, there we go. That's a little bit better. You're a good pupper. Oh my god, that was hysterical. I think that's the last time I'm gonna wear sandals over here. I came over here with flip-flops.
Yeah.
And I just got out of the shower. Because it is a gross, disgusting, humid day.
Yeah, that's true.
I've just been running around with like half a dozen kids. I just came from a barbecue at a friend's house for their birthday. And everybody brought their kids. I don't think there was. I think the oldest kid there was 6, maybe 7.
Okay.
And for whatever reason, they decided that I was a vampire.
Yeah. And
I had to turn them all into vampires by chasing them around. We played tag, is what it boils down to. But they decided instead of playing tag that Rob was a vampire, and I had to tag them to turn them into vampires. And it was lots of fun, but like on an extremely humid 98-degree day,
yeah,
I could do that for just a few minutes before like falling over in a puddle of me.
Right.
It was really gross. I smelled horrible. But the kids had a great time. That's all that matters.
You mentioned that you were the only one participating in that.
Dude, no other adult was playing. No adults were playing with the kids, and like, it's not like there was a lot to do in that backyard, especially when it was like disgustingly hot out.
Is it a big backyard that they have, or is it
not really?
Okay.
It's. I mean, you could run back and forth in the backyard in less than a few seconds.
Yeah.
Like one side of the one fence post to the next fence post.
You also mentioned there was a puppy gnawing at your heels.
Oh yeah. They also got a puppy a little while ago. It's like half the size of Jelly Bean, and you know Jelly Bean's huge. She weighs what, 20 pounds?
She's actually up to 30 now. I'm surprised by.
Oh, what a fatty. So their puppy is probably like 12 pounds then, maybe 15 pounds. Really, really small dog. Very, very cute. But again, it's just a puppy, and it's still teething.
Mm-hmm.
And this puppy saw me chasing kids and looking menacing and everything, and the kids are laughing and having a great time. They're all a bunch of giggle faces. And like I'm roaring like a death metal musician, or death metal vocalist at like, I'm gonna eat you little kids, I'm gonna get you, you know. And so this little nothing puppy is like biting my ankles and barking at me because it thinks I'm like an actual threat.
Yeah.
I had to stop and be like, no, we're just playing, it's okay, it's cool. Please stop biting at my ankles.
Is it a larger puppy breed, or?
No, it's like a, I don't know what it is. It's like a Chihuahua.
Okay. Like
not golden retriever mix, maybe a Chihuahua Labrador or something like that. It's really really small. But it's a good dog. It's a good puppy. It was very very protective of those kids.
Yeah.
But it's not trained because it's still so young.
Right.
And like we have to try and be very mindful of what we do around the puppy so it actually learns.
Right.
Instead of just like everything is go. So I kept on stopping and be like, no, it's not okay to bite, and I have to do that like I can't give it a reward for biting, you know.
Yeah.
I can't really do anything negative because it's a puppy.
Right.
So we just stopped when it got a little over rambunctious. So at one point, like my son and one of the other little girls like wrapped all completely around each of my legs, and like my son's almost 60 pounds, and the other little girl was like half his size. But again, like if they're wrapped around my legs, I'm not going to take a chance and lift my leg up and then potentially step on them.
Right.
So it's just like, oh no, I can't move anymore.
So you were basically Voltron with kid legs.
Yeah, but like immobile. the other kids came around and like knocked me over. So I just like was dogpiled by like a whole bunch of other little kids.
Yeah.
Like, it was all really very funny and cute, but at one point, like, I couldn't move anymore, and I was like lying down on the ground. Ooh, that sucks.
Yeah, that's not what I wanted to do, but
and I point to one of, like, I don't know some of the kids, like this one little girl who's like 6. I just point at her and I'm like, "You, little girl, go get me a bottle of water. I can't move. You have to get it for me." And like very sweetly, she was like, "Okay." She ran away. And like half a second later, she comes back. She's like, "I couldn't find any." I'm like, "All right, I have to get up then. Please get these kids off of me."
Oh man. You also took Wolfram into the city for the first time recently, didn't you?
Yeah, we drove into Manhattan and we took him to the Museum of Natural History.
How do you like that?
And he could not have had a better time. He had a freaking blast. Because we read a lot to Wolfram. Like he gets a bunch of books about a whole bunch of different other subjects, and right now he's like really about dinosaurs and fossils.
Okay.
On top of like he loves race cars and big construction vehicles.
Okay.
But he recently got into fossils, and he's old enough, and the world I feel like is just on the cusp of being safe enough.
Yeah.
To like go out into like a little bit of a crowded space.
How packed was it?
Like, I'm still really apprehensive about it. And through work, we get free tickets. And ticket reservations. So I was like, all right, so I'll book it through work. And we'll drive in because they have underground parking there for guests.
Mm-hmm.
So we drove in and we got free tickets. And the fact that on their website it said, you need to have a reservation because it's very limited access. And you need to pick a time. Mm-hmm. Because they only let a certain number of people in, like, per hour or whatever it is.
Okay.
So I'm like, all right, it's going to be fairly limited.
Yeah.
And the place was fucking packed. It was like a normal day.
Crazy.
And like we went on a Sunday, so I figured it was going to be kind of crowded.
Yeah.
Because it was a Sunday, and I was right. It was crowded.
Oops.
It was manageable though. It was totally okay. We were able to like have time at each exhibit that we wanted to have time with without feeling like we're preventing someone else from seeing it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or being in somebody else's way.
So what was Wolfram?
But it was great because he was also like, he was able to, he's almost 5 and he was able to identify everything on his own. He was like, "That's a diplodocus." I was like, "How did you know how to say that?" "Let's go see the pterodactyls. They're in the next room." Like he was able to see from one side of the room to the other somehow.
Yeah.
And like they have pterodactyl fossils like constructed and hanging from the ceilings, so they're easy to spot.
Okay.
So like we're hanging out by a diplodocus, and he's just like, "They have pterodactyls over there. I want to go over there." And we're like, "All right, let's go." Like he wasn't interested in reading any of the placards or anything because he can't really read yet.
Yeah.
But he really was into like trying to see if the museum had everything that he knew from like all the books that we read him. Like he has this really cool paleontology book with all the bones set up and how they relate to like modern animals.
Okay.
And he was able to like identify the bones where I forget what the actual fossil was, but he was like, "This is a descendant of an emu." I was like, all right, cool. I don't know if that's correct.
Yeah.
He's like, "That's a big chicken." He's pointing to a T-Rex.
Yeah. Was that his favorite exhibit, the dinosaur bone?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, easily. He really, his favorite animal is elephants. He is a big elephant boy. He's got a bunch of stuffed animals that are all elephants.
Okay.
Those are his Ellies. And like he was like, "Oh, they have woolly mammoths." I was like, "Yes, they do. Here we go." So it was just like, the Museum of Natural History is one of my favorite places, and
Yeah.
Vivian and I are like very big on museums,
Right.
and art museums, not just like natural history museums.
Are you gonna?
So we want to take him to the MoMA and the Met at some point too.
Right. Okay.
But I don't think he's there to really like in the mindset of appreciating art. I think
Yeah.
he's still too...
He needs to be a little older. For
Yeah,
that.
he's still too young for that. Oh, hey, Jelly, you want to cuddle? You heard me talking about bones, huh?
Yep.
So he was really into the fossils and had a great time, and we went into their cafeteria and had lunch, and then we went back upstairs and checked out, like, the minerals.
Okay.
And, I don't know what you would call it. I guess it's like the geology wing or whatever part of the museum that is.
Right.
And he couldn't be more bored.
Really?
But that's Vivian's favorite part, so we had to hang out for her.
Gotcha. Did he get freaked
that
out by
spot?
anything that was there? Because they have a lot of like those mock-ups of like ancient humans and animals and stuff.
No,
Okay.
not at all. Like Viv and I are very forward with like, yeah, we're descended from like older hominids.
Yeah.
You know, different types of humanoids, and he gets it for the most part. You know, he understands in his very 4-year-old way of understanding it.
Yeah.
But like we walked past Lucy, and he knew who Lucy was.
Okay.
And he, like, pointed her out, and he was like, is that Lucy? And we're like, yes, that's right. Very good. That is Lucy. And he's like, people don't look like that anymore. And we're like, yeah. People used to look like that. And we're like, correct. But they weren't really people then. I'm like, well...
So he's...
Not as we know them, no.
So he's got to work on his Homo sapienist
Kind of, yeah.
isms. I don't know what you would call that. Being racist against people from a different era.
He didn't say it in a way that, like, he meant it to be, like, wrong or off-putting. He meant it,
Yeah.
like, they weren't modern man.
Right.
That kind of people.
Alright.
Like, he doesn't have the vocabulary to explain that the way we would. Oh, that was cool.
Yeah, problem is you gotta fucking do this part right. Otherwise it's meaningless.
You do a part right? Well, there we
Yeah.
go.
So
But he was really
catch
overjoyed to
this,
see, like, big buildings.
Mhm.
Cause, and going over the bridges, too. Like, we went, we took the tunnel to get into the city,
Okay.
and
Yeah, you said you drove in. How was that?
it was great. Because, like, taking the train in would have taken too long to get to, like, Penn Station, and then to take the subway up.
Yeah.
And it's July. So it sucks being in the subway and underground in the heat of
Yeah.
the summer. It's
like-
awful.
It's like being inside a crock pot, basically.
Yeah. That's a good way of putting it. And also, it would have taken too long as well.
Yeah.
Compared to driving, it was much faster and cheaper and saved a lot of time.
Can't remember how I did this before.
You did it better?
Yeah, I definitely did that, but there's a way.
A way to do it that's not bad?
Shit. I think I know what I'm doing wrong.
To use flap, hold LT and assign it to X, Y, or B.
That's
Just gonna damage yourself to get over there.
Well, I was trying to jump, but I wasn't quick enough.
Jelly, would you like a salt lick? Is that what you're telling us?
Yeah.
You're a good doge.
No, I know what. Okay.
The next thing he wants to do, like, he just wants to go to the city to see the buildings.
Mm-hmm.
As we're crossing over one of the bridges to get in before the tunnel,
Uh-huh.
like, he was able to point out, he's like, oh, there's the Empire State Building, there's the Chrysler Building, and I'm like, dude, you're 4.
Yeah.
Like, how? And, like, I want to be the proud parent, but at the same time, like, we read him, like, so many books about, like, the skyline and the building of the Empire State Building and, like, the building of the Chrysler Building and, like, things that are in our direct part of the country.
Right.
The fish are biting, not just the bait. That guy's cool. I bet he smells horrible.
Probably. And I think he's been chewing on that hay straw for a while.
Hay straw.
Hay straw. Hay straw. I'm gonna get this guy a bobble or whatever. Oh no, it's a net. That's what it is. I don't think there's anything in here.
You caught an Ori. Oh yeah, so next time we have to bring him into the top of the Empire State Building.
Okay.
That's the next trip that he
Is that a
wants to
long
do.
wait these days? Like, do they have to...
If it's anything like the Museum of Natural History, it's just as packed as it used to be.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about getting into like a cramped space like that.
Right. Ah, fuck.
Stinky butt.
Stinky farts.
You have a stinky butt. I'm talking to the dog, not Ives. Although I'm sure he has a stinky butt too.
Yeah, sometimes. Damn it.
Uh-oh.
This is where being able to breathe
Drowning,
underwater
drowning,
would be
drowning.
way fucking easier. Yeah, man. Seriously?
Why are you not going up there? Does it push you the wrong way or something?
No, it's just, it's very fickle about the timing. Yeah, man. There we go.
There you go.
We unlocked our death. Yeah, the three places I used to love as a kid were the Natural History Museum,
Yeah, top tier.
Bronx Zoo, and the Metropolitan Museum of Art. Because they had the most interesting exhibits and like things to check out.
Whoa.
God damn it. Alright.
Running out of air.
Yep, I'm gonna die. Fuck, fuck, fuck.
Wow, that's immediate.
Yeah.
I figured you'd like lose health before
Nope.
death.
This is Ori, not Super Mario Brothers.
Not Sonic. Drowning, 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 drowning.
Come on. Get over here.
Wow, it's a pretty slow torpedo. Nice.
There we go. And we create an air pocket. Ultra Bash. Hold on. Bash deals more damage, it pushes farther. Not really important right now.
Wow, way to diminish what the game just gave you. What a dickhead.
I gotta neg some of these abilities.
I guess. Well, bam!
So do they still have the sperm whale fighting the giant squid exhibit there? Or did they take that down? 'Cause that's
We
been there
didn't
forever.
get that far.
Yeah.
We spent so much time in the fossils and the gems exhibit or the minerals, whatever that place is, the
Mhm.
rocks that are shiny, and eating food that we're just like, all right, it's like 3 o'clock now. He didn't have his nap.
Yeah.
He's like on the cusp of not having naps anymore at all. So
Did he nap on the car ride either there or
no,
back?
he does not sleep in the car.
Okay.
Will not happen.
That's like where I exclusively used to sleep. Oops, wrong way.
You did it wrong.
Yeah. I heard you got Dino Nuggies.
We got Dino Nuggies. The food there was really good.
Yeah, I remember it being that good. Like
It
really
was
good.
amazing. It was like they had a full operating cafeteria and not like, stuff that comes out of like airline food trays or whatever. Like it was like cooked there fresh. I had amazing chicken. Viv had like this really, really good pulled pork and mac and cheese,
Nice.
mixed vegetables and garlicky roasted potatoes.
Awesome.
It was phenomenal.
I think they used to have fried chicken back in the day, and even that was like high quality. could be
Yeah,
wrong about
I
that.
definitely didn't expect it for like they didn't hype it up like the museum restaurant.
Right.
It's the way they phrase it there. It's like, oh, it's the museum cafeteria. I'm like, no, it's way better than a cafeteria.
What did the inside look like? Because I don't remember.
It looked like a cafeteria.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
But it was really good.
I remember it being kind of like impressive, like interior design, like kind of brownish tiles and shit like that.
That's not too different than what you're describing. It's
Okay.
pretty much the same. But like, it was really very nondescript. It was just a cafeteria.
Yeah.
Like, as bare bones and basic as you can imagine it, that's what it was.
It was a basic
Except
bitch.
the food was so good.
Yeah.
Just the fact that they had parking right there.
Oh, you parked in the garage underneath?
You park in the museum, in the
Okay.
garage that they have and operate.
Yeah.
And it was cheap, too. I think for the whole day, for a park, cheap is relative.
Yeah.
But, like, parking for a whole day in Manhattan can be anywhere from, like, $75 to $100.
Oh, I know.
But, like, parking at the museum for the whole day was, like, under 50. So,
When I went to Coney Island last weekend, they had parking lot, like paid parking lots, and the lowest we saw was 27, and I think the highest was like 40.
Yeah, and that's not like the city proper either.
Yeah.
But like 27's still fairly cheap.
Yeah, but like, I don't know. We eventually, because it was a Sunday, we ended up parking in one of like the normally metered lots. Or not,
Oh,
they're not
yeah.
really lots. They're like little strips
Yeah.
where you can park and pay as you go.
You get your ticket to pay.
Yeah, but because it was Sunday, you didn't have to pay to park there, so we just parked for free. And because we got there so early, there was like almost no one there, so we got our choice of parking spot, and it worked in our favor because we just left the car there. It was so centrally located. We just left whatever we needed in the car, and if we needed to go back for anything, it was like, you know,
Perfect.
2 to 5 minute walk depending on where we were. So not bad at all. But like by midday, the fucking beach and the amusement park were like packed.
Well, yeah, it's
Everyone and their cousin was there.
Coney Island, man.
Yeah. And there were a bunch of homeless people, which freaked Nick out. At one point, he like was walking past like 4 or 5 of them that were sleeping because it was still early. It was like 6 in the morning,
Ooh, big froge.
and he decided to keep a safe distance. And I'm like, dude, they're just homeless. They're not
Yeah,
velociraptors.
they're still people, dude.
Yeah. But there was a bunch of like older men like fishing off of the pier.
Okay.
And I tried asking like a couple of them, like, "Hey, what are you guys fishing for?" And no one would respond. But if you said like, "Hey, how's it going?" They'd be like, "Hey, good day." Like, I don't know what it was about. Asking.
Well, they think you're a fish cop.
Maybe
Is what it is. Checking for license.
Yeah. I mean, I couldn't look less like a fish cop. I think I was wearing like one of my Disney T-shirts. Yeah, I was wearing like the Piglet T-shirt with shorts and like.
You would pass for an undercover cop, I think.
I guess maybe it's the beard.
It's the beard and the dad shoes.
Yeah. I've basically given up on caring about what I wear these days. I just want to be comfortable.
Good. That's what you're supposed to be.
Yeah, except I'm also single, so that comes into play sometimes. 'Cause,
Yeah, comfort comes with a lot of confidence, which I think plays more into it.
Yeah.
You want to talk about confidence on the next episode?
Sure.
Confidence out.
Whee! Yeah, let me just plant myself here.